Hey folks, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today we're going to be assembling the Slim Tickler. Let's get into it. So the Slim Tickler is the Riz pick with the Covert Companion chassis inside of it. So if you have purchased the Riz pick and then you purchased the chassis, or if you purchased the Slim Tickler, or if you purchased the Slim Pickens, which is the Riv pick inside of the Covert Companion chassis, or maybe you need a little bit of help adding a couple parts like the Riv pick and the turning tool expansion set to your Covert Companion, then this is the video for you. Now, the Slim Tickler was just released today, and the website, you can purchase the Slim Tickler for $55 from Covert Instruments. Scroll down, there's the blueprints. I've opened it up in a new tab, and these are the blueprints that I will be following. So you can either follow along in the video or you can follow along with just the blueprints. I'm going to do the blueprints, and this hopefully may help some of you that have trouble. I'm going to push this back a little bit, and I'm going to pan down, and for those of you that just need visual help from me, you can just follow along with me. So you have a whole bunch of parts. You're going to have them in 3 different bags. Just go ahead and dump everything out into a pile here. Some of these you're not going to use. Some of them are just extras because Covert Instruments gives you extras. The first thing that I want you to put aside is you're going to have to disassemble your Slim Tickler or Slim Pickens chassis to remove the long screws. Once you have removed the long screws, then we can move on from there. Inside the bags, you're going to see parts for short screws instead. We want to remove the long screws. The long screws are for the Covert Companion, and this video is specifically really for the Slim Pickens and the Slim Tickler. So we have these long screws and we have 2 short screws. Take the 2 long ones, put them aside, and take the 2 short ones instead. We're going to place them up top right here. That's what we're going to do with those. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of the chassis ends of the Slim Tickler, and we're going to take where it says Key Smart Patented, and we're going to just place that down like that where we can't see it because we don't want that to be on the outside. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this next part. Depending on how you look at it, could say part D, could say part B. We're just going to just take this oblong shape, and we see a cutout right here. There is a faint cutout, and we're going to put that cutout facing down where I can see the number, or excuse me, the letter D, okay? That's what I want to see is the letter D, and that little cutout right there. We're going to place that here. I'm going to take one of the swing arms, and the swing arm is going to hold the actual Riv pick or Riz pick, and the one with the, hang on, make sure I have the right one here. Got it. Okay. The one with the slot and the hexagonal shapes, that's going to be slot down in the hole on the left. It's going to go next in our assembly. And then we are going to take the next piece that has a tab here with a hole on the left, and it's not to be confused with these 2 parts here that are nearly identical. One is rounded, okay? This can be confusing, but the difference is that this has a little bit more of a hexagonal or square shape up on the top. We're going to take that larger piece there, and that is going to be right there. We're going to take one of these little rubber spacers and place that right in between the 2 parts. Okay, next we're going to take 2 washers, place them right here next to each other. And then we're going to take our pick, whether it be the Riv pick or the Riz pick, we're going to place it on the right. We're going to place it where the orientation is, the rivet is on the right, and then we have a slot on the left, okay? Now then, before we move any further, if you want to add this like a little key ring here, this is the point we want to do it. We're going to place that between the Riv pick and the small screw right there. Okay. Next step is we're going to add our metal spacers, one on each side. Then we're going to add this bar right here. We're going to flip it to where the angle, the ramp, is pointing up to the right. We have holes on the left, and that cutout is on the bottom. Place that just like that. Okay, now we're going to add swing bar for the turning tools with the slot on the bottom, CI logo here, and the circle on the left beneath our left metal post. We're going to add another rubber spacer, and then we're going to add our last swing bar component, which has the tab over here on the right and the hole for the post on the left. And we're going to assemble our turning tools. Doesn't really matter, but if it's 50 thousandths, then 40, then 32. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to take our 50 thousandths, place right here, short end on the left, long end on the right. Then we're going to take our 40 thousandths, and then we're going to place our 32 thousandths, and then we're going to place our 25 thousandths. Just like that. And that's all we're going to need for this assembly. We're going to take this guy. We have one more component left, and that is the Covert Instruments actual logo. We're going to take that and place it down right there. Now we can start assembling. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left swing arm for my tensioners, put that right there. Now I'm going to take a rubber spacer, followed by the next swing arm. Now this next part's a little tricky, just takes a little bit of dexterity here. I'm going to place this swing arm here where that tab goes through the slot, and then I'm going to take this guy right here. This separates the tensioner from the actual riv pick or tickler, whatever it's called, riz pick. And then we're going to take our post on the left side and we're going to insert it. It's actually an extension. And then we're going to take our right one. Go ahead and insert that one as well. Sometimes I've seen some of these posts come a little cross-threaded. We do have extra posts in our packaging, so if it doesn't want to thread very well, just pick another post. Alternatively, also, not alternative, but also we just want to do finger tighten this. You don't want to use pliers on this. You will strip them out. Okay, next step. We're going to add our 2 washers on the left. This is going to separate the 2 swing arms so there's no friction. We're going to add the next swing arm that holds the actual lock picks. Then we're going to add a rubber spacer on the left. If you notice, we're not really adding a whole lot on the right. Okay, now we're going to add the last swing arm here. We're going to hold it in place, and then we're going to take this spacer bar. We're going to place that right on top. And now we're going to take the other end of our chassis where it says Key Smart, but we're going to have that on the inside. We're just going to place this right on top. And it's just going to do a little bit of a balancing act while we take our short screws, not the long ones, but the short ones. You know what? I forgot a piece. We're going to add this guy. We're going to add that. We're going to take everything apart. Now, we're going to take that swing arm right here, and then we're going to go ahead and at this point we add the keychain if you want to. You don't have to. Keychain goes right there. Then this long shaped spacer there, and now we have the Key Smart, but we want the Key Smart logo on the inside. Now we're going to get our short screw, and we're just going to get the left side started. If you have to, you can hold it like this and get it going that way. Okay, I just got it started just to hold it, and now I'm going to take this short screw on the right, insert that and get that one going. All right. Sorry, the camera's shaking. Tighten these up. You don't have to crank on them, but someone would say finger tight if you're using your fingers. You're gonna add a couple pounds of force, but not too much. Just enough for that gap between the short screw and the chassis to tighten and disappear. That's it. And this is where you should be at. To open this, you take your thumb and you can flick out one of these in one direction and you can flick out the other in the opposite direction. If it's too tight, and it's not moving, it may be snagged on something. I don't think it'll be so tight that you have to loosen this. I think sometimes it just snags on itself. And that's to keep it from opening in your pocket. That's just the way it's designed. Do you remember these little cutouts right here? Those cutouts are designed to catch this little tab, so that way it doesn't just flop around. So you have to just figure out the best way for you to open it, which is typically going to be pushing on these little back arms right here. Okay. The longer of the two, one is shorter, one is longer. The longer of the two is actually going to hold our riv pick. This is important. If we put our, the longer of the two, yeah, I'm acting insane here. Yeah, the longer of the two is actually going to hold our riv pick, not our tensioners. I had it wrong there. Sorry. So we have our riv pick or our riz pick. All these names are getting me confused. Open this up. Should this fit in here like that? I'm going to place it into where the rivet is towards the post and the picks are facing up and the slot here is facing down. Easier said than done when on camera. Okay, that's wrong. That orientation's wrong. Don't listen to me. All right, I'm sorry. I'm having to figure out this orientation here. Okay, I got it now. So the rivet is actually on the left and the picks are on the right. If I can do this without the camera shaking, that'd be wonderful. Okay, that's it. Just play with it. You'll figure out one way will work, one way won't. There's only two ways you can put it in. Yeah, works well. You may have to align some things here against the rubber spacer. But overall, it seems to be working. If you feel like the key ring gets in the way, you can always remove it. You could also loosen this up to give it a little bit more space. Wow, that drastically helped. Yeah, that helped a lot. So that may be what I was doing wrong. This was a little tight. Okay, now we're gonna add our tension tools. This part is a little bit easier. It's one of these toys that you just have to play around with until you kind of get it figured out. It's a little bit of a puzzle. The tension tools, a little bit trickier. We're going to insert the long end first. I'm going to pull this out, insert the slot into the middle of the tension tool. All 4 tension tools. And then back into itself. Like that. And that's wrong. Upside down. But we want the long end towards the post of the chassis. There we go. That's the orientation that we want. Boom, and that's it. Worst assembly instructions ever, but I got it together and that's all that matters. That's great. And to take out your favorite pick, you just spread apart the swing arms and pull out the tool and go to town. If I inserted this pick incorrectly, I mean, guys, you can figure it out. There's only 1 or 2 ways that you can get this guy into this. So It's just going to take some playing around with. I wouldn't recommend spreading these apart like I'm doing. That I'm just trying to get this correct. Definitely something you have to play around with a couple times to get it right. There we go. So this time I was able to place it where the rivet is on the outside and not on the inside. I don't remember what I did the first time, but there we go. Just play around with it, have fun with it. It's a toy. In my defense, I usually carry my slim pickings inside a separate case sold by a different manufacturer. That way I don't really feel like the need to mess with the slim pickings. But this is cool. This is definitely going on my keychain. That's all I have for today, folks. That was the worst assembly instructions ever, but people have been requesting I make a video, so that's the video. That's what you get. That's what you're getting. Now I have 2 of these, and I have a Covert Companion. Very cool. I love these. I really do. I really like these. So let me know in the comments down below if this was helpful. Also, let me know if it wasn't helpful. And I'll catch you guys next time.